Welcome to Cutscene Controller. I'm Ketchup, and together we'll be running you through the journey of various Mortal Kombat characters. Now, much like MK11's villain, Kronika, I will be controlling time, pausing, fast-forwarding, and rewinding at key moments to fill you in on everything there is to know about each character's story. And of course, for episode 1, it's fitting that we do none other than Scorpion. Welcome everybody! In this series, we'll be following what is known as the current timeline, which started with Mortal Kombat 9. But to get a clear idea over Scorpion's journey in MK11, we do need to do a quick refresher on both MK9 and MKX. There are 4 names that you need to remember here. They are Quan Chi, Shinnok, Kuai Liang, and Bi-Han. In MK9, Scorpion is a hellspawn resurrected by Quan Chi, who leads him to believe that himself, his family, and his clan were all murdered by Bi-Han, the original Sub-Zero. As you might expect, Scorpion doesn't like that very much, and just like that, he kills Sub-Zero. But his younger brother, Kuai Liang, decides to take up the mantle of Sub-Zero and enters the next tournament to seek revenge for his fallen brother. But before he can secure that revenge, Sub-Zero is captured by the Lin Kuei, and Scorpion escapes to the NetherRealm. Scorpion's story picks back up a few years later in MKX, where his soul is restored by Raiden. Now, no longer one of Quan Chi's revenants, he takes back up his human name, Hanzo Hasashi, and he revives his clan, the Shirai Ryu, to serve Earthrealm. He makes peace with Sub-Zero, as Sub-Zero reveals that it was in fact Quan Chi responsible for the death of himself, his family, and his clan. Scorpion seeks revenge, but just before he can deliver the killing blow to Quan Chi, Shinnok is released, who attempts to destroy Earthrealm. But things don't quite work out for Shinnok, and now you're all up to speed, let's get into it. Now we enter the beginnings of Mortal Kombat 11, essentially where MKX left off. It's important to note, Kronika, who is the game's antagonist, has a plan to rewrite the sands of time, reverting many of the events that take place, and saving her son, Shinnok, who doesn't get treated all too well.
The old Cyber Lin Kuei factory.
Alright, pause it right there. Fire and Ice. Seems to be a reference to the cancelled sequel to Shaolin Monks, that co-op adventure game. Scorpion and Sub-Zero were going to be the main characters of that. And Fire and Ice was, at the very least, the prototype title, but obviously didn't happen.
Now, Sector's returned and reactivated it.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero are now working together. What's happened is that Sector is bringing back the Cyber Lin Kuei. He's building an army for Kronika of cyberized Lin Kuei warriors, one of which being Frost, who is a character we haven't seen in many, many years, and then Cyrax.
Cyrax is your inside man?
He was converted against his will. If we disable the behavior inhibitors that control him,
He will turn on Sector.
focus on disabling Cyrax. He's the key.
I'm going to fast forward here. Cyrax is able to be reprogrammed, and when he is reprogrammed, he's able to help them both get Sector out of there, and then at the same time, destroy the facility. It's a cool little cutscene. This, unfortunately, is where we see Cyrax at an end, and he just takes himself out. But this is the beginning of the end of the Cyber Lin Kuei assembly, which was the entire purpose in the first place. From here, Scorpion is tasked with finding transportation of Earthrealm's warriors to cross the NetherRealm. He does this by finding Charon, the ferryman of NetherRealm souls, but he finds a little more than he bargained for.
It looks like Charon is home, perhaps hosting some unwelcome guests.
There is a little bit of danger taking place, because here comes Devora, was able to get to Charon first.
Now you must suffer.
I've always been a really big fan of that, just flinging her out the door. Scorpion doing what he does best.
First Shinnok, now Kronika. You fight for lost causes.
This one ensures the Hive's survival.
We'll fast forward that. That's a single player fight, but after this, you ultimately do win it, if you're able to do it. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. You've got that fatal blow on deck. Just press your 2 triggers, you know, and you're good to go. Easy business.
The Shirai Ryu will not fall.
This is where Scorpion finally gets to experience the kind of clash of timelines. There's a common theme in this game is old and new kind of go hand in hand and they fight each other all the time. This is where Scorpion fights Hanzo Hasashi. And let me just fast forward to where we started.
Harumi and Satoshi were stolen from me. Murdered. Seeing them again is all that matters. We share this pain. I fought through hell to end it. But Kronika's new era is not the remedy. She would resurrect Shinnok.
I'm a big fan of this cutscene. You're finally able to see like old Scorpion get that kind of almost granddad lecture.
When I revived the Shirai Ryu, I vowed our clan would ensure Earthrealm's protection. Help me keep that promise.
I always really liked Scorpion's reaction. He's like, ah, I'm not shaking your hand, but maybe I will. Oh no! Oh no! Unfortunately, there was a little bit of poison, perhaps.
The new Shirai Ryu are worthy. It's heart, not blood, that makes them warriors.
That's the quote. It's heart that makes them warriors. And that's his dying words. And it's almost kind of fitting that the next scene we get to see the fire garden, the Shirai Ryu fire garden. Almost a little bit of memorial, perhaps. And here comes young Scorpion, previous Scorpion.
Wrong Scorpion. This cannot be good.
Get Raiden.
I like this cutscene because they just don't trust him. They do not trust him at all.
He is dead.
You're never ready for it. You're never ready for it. He wins the fight, and he's like, right, we're going to talk about things. And then zap! Taken out.
I honor his dying wish. Charon will ferry your armies to the Isle of Kronika. We must leave at once.
So, after a rather extended period of Scorpion convincing everyone to believe him, the Earthrealm warriors begin their attack on Kronika's keep. Now, in the closing moments of Mortal Kombat 11, Scorpion is seen kicking ass and taking names, but he actually doesn't have much bearing to the game's story from this point onwards. This is where we're going to transition over to Scorpion's MK11 arcade ending.
Come, it is time to die.
As we now look at the end sequence of the actual story mode, this is where everything kind of comes to a close. Scorpion promised himself and his future self that he wouldn't seek only revenge. He wouldn't constantly be stuck to the past. He cannot help himself. He decides to try and restore his family, his clan. Everything that was done to him, he wants to essentially right the wrongs, but in doing so, realizes that every single timeline he creates for himself, his clan and his family suffering is ongoing. There is no way to undo the damage. And it is, at this point, Hanzo realizing that Kronika was one of many titans all working towards Scorpion's ongoing suffering. And at this point, he vows to take out and kill every titan he possibly can.
I will have vengeance.
Thanks for watching this episode of Cutscene Controller. By all means, let us know if we missed anything, what characters you'd like to see next, and come on, the obvious stuff, like, comment, subscribe, tell us what you think, and stick around for our next episode where we cover the other half of Mortal Kombat. It's going to be Sub-Zero.
印象吗？